As of October the 19th, 2024, there are over 800 million videos uploaded on YouTube. That's 500 hours of video every 60 seconds, family. But if you're mentally dead, you're being bombarded with 10 forms of tricknology. These 10 prongs or pillars that hold up the devil's tricknology covers this: the knowledge of God, the devil, heaven, hell, angels, devils, scriptures, the resurrection, unity, and death. Don't just hear this, listen up. All over the planet Earth, people were taught that angels were spooks and spirits, that the angels would come in the clouds according to the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Septuagint, the Vulgate, what have you. The angels come in the cloud, all right, but not like you think. It's nothing spooky. You see that the truth is coming to you through the iCloud. It's an app. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Salam Hotep. Assalam Allah. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace of mind and contentment. Mullah, money, good homes, friendships, and all walks of life. The struggle continues, and I'm here as a student follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Don't get confused of the nomenclature like wazir or minister. We're all ministers. Every FOI, every MGT, every junior FOI, every GCC is a minister of Messenger Elijah Muhammad's message. And regardless to all the tricknology and all the stuff that we're going to study in the future, at the end of the day, it's going to dawn on you. Only the messenger's message will guide you through this age of mess. Today, family, we're going to cover the 10 pillars or the 10 prongs used by the devil, the 10% rich slave makers of the poor, to keep control over the whole planet Earth. Okay, so let's look at this. This is October the 19th, 2024. As of today, YouTube has over 800 million videos. Like, you go on YouTube, you're like, I'm gonna watch a video. Which one? There's 800 million videos on YouTube. That's 500 hours being literally uploaded every 60 seconds or every minute. You know what I mean? That's the mathematics. Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. All right? So I'm not surprised, and I would never be surprised that the majority of these videos is teaching our people tricknology. But what I want you to understand today, in case you say that nobody tried to teach you or warn you, I'm going to get your blood off my hands by teaching you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of yourself. I'm going to do my little part. You know what I mean? I know you thought that the angels was going to come with these big, bright white feathers, and they going to have this glowing halo over their head, and they could say abracadabra and all this magical, spooky stuff. Nah, family. Angels got to do real things. I mean, they got to pay a phone bill, mortgage. They got to get gas in the car. They got to buy food. They gotta take care of their health. Now, I mean, angels can die, angels can get sick, angels have families, they have family problems, angels can be arrested, angels can be slandered, angels can be attacked. Now, I mean, everything is real. Real gods do real things. Spooky people think that the real God do spooky things. Imagine this. Imagine uh, a 12-year-old seeing his father hiding toys in a closet on Christmas Eve. And he's like, Dad, what is you doing? He's like, oh, like, yo, what's all this? Like, yo, you putting up these stockings on the mantle or the fireplace. You putting up the tree. You putting the gifts up under the tree. Your mommy wrapping them up. Like, yo, what's going on? And they'd be like, son, we taught you not to lie. I mean, but you're only 12, but we want you to understand the truth. We've been lying to you for 12 years. I mean, we've been telling you that you had birthdays and Santa Claus was bringing these gifts from the North Pole, with a reindeer that had a glowing nose, Rudolph or whatever. I mean, we was telling you about these little elves or little people that was making these toys. We never told you that actually, in reality, in the United States, in China, and around the world, they have slave factories. And they have little people, not physically little people, but people that have no economic power, no political power. And they're considered the 85% mentally dead. They're enslaved by the 10%, the rich, the slave makers of the poor, who teach the poor lies. And they control and manipulate these 85%. But there's a few 5%ers that the 10%ers don't like. These 5%ers are like strike breakers, labor organizers. They're like unions. They're trying to basically organize the people, wake the people up. And these guys is messing up our bottom line. We got to give out dividends to our shareholders. So these 5%ers are in the way. Now, if you look at the world you live in, all the 7 continents, there's not a square inch on the face of the planet Earth that advertisers and corporations don't run this. Now, son, we're going to tell you the truth. There are 10 pillars that hold up this matrix, that hold up this Illuminati, this 10% rich slave makers of the poor that teach the poor lies. This, in 2024, they call it the 1%ers. I mean, this is how the 1%ers control this thing. All right. Step number 1, we have the whole world believing in a mystery God. Now, you may wonder, what you mean by mystery God? Listen, all them pictures you see of Jesus Christ? Jesus never, ever took a picture. But, there's like statues of Jesus. He never posed for any of those statues. What do we mean? We mean that 100%, not 99.99%, 100%. If you see a picture of Jesus that's white, it's a lie. But if you see a picture of Jesus as black, it's a lie. If you see a picture of Jesus as a Jew, it's a lie. If you see a picture of Jesus as Chinese, Indian, what have you, it's all a lie, son. I mean, we just like, the whole world is mentally dead. 85% of the planet Earth do not know that which they worship. So when it comes to God, they look up in the sky. They look up to the clouds, to the Nimbus clouds, the Cirrus cloud, the Stratus cloud. They have no real factual, natural inclination as to who is God. You see? And since they are mentally dead and they believe in magic and superstition and They're an Aquarius, a Sagittarius. They're Scorpion. They believe in zodiac signs. They take signs over symbols. They're that mentally dead. So it's easy to manipulate them, easy to control them, easy to misdirect them. All we got to do is spark their emotions, and we can rule them. Not like Elijah Muhammad said for 6,000 years. We could rule them forever, because Elijah Muhammad did warn you in Message to the Black Man in America in 1965. He said, until the black man and woman in the wilderness of North America get the knowledge of themselves, the devil could rule for the next 1,000,000 years. See, a lot of people think that our time is limited. No, our time is only limited by our ability to keep you deceived. As long as we could use the power of tricknology to make you believe that you, as a sentient, created being, is distinct and separate from this omnipotent creator, you will never realize your own creative powers. So that's the first prong. The first prong that they use is the lie about God. What is the second prong? The second prong that they lie about is the devil. Now, you have pastors that have small churches. You have evangelists that have mega churches. You have imams that speak fluent Arabic that can interpret the Quran, the tafsir, and they know the sunnah, they know the hadith and all that. You have Jewish rabbis, you got ministers, reverends, gurus, sheikhs, what have you. But if you take and not just hear what they're saying, but actually listen to it, analyze, deputize, and scrutinize it, they're all talking about a spooky devil. They're talking about the jinn. They're talking about Satan. Was Lucifer fell from heaven. But they're not telling you about the reality of it. They're talking about some spooky stuff. I mean, it's like, it's 2024, and it's sad to say. And I love my Nation of Islam. Many people in the Nation of Islam in 2024 is like, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Gray come back off the mother plane. I mean, like you got people like, yo, Jesus Christ Gray come back. Oh, the Mahdi is on his way from the east to the west. It's like all this tricknology, and it hurts because it's like, wow. After the messenger's message that came to guide us through this age of mess, what do? We go right back to tricknology. Worshiping the golden calf, Baal. I mean, we still worshiping money. We're still worshiping ghosts and goblins and demons and spirits and life after death and all this pseudo tricknology. Sad to say, the messenger was real clear, real simple, real plain. His thing was like this. Elijah, who is the devil? It's a real simple question. It's answered. And you'll find it all in here. In fact, let me get the updated version so you can see it. You'll find it all in here. It's real simple, family. I'm going to tell you the plain, simple truth. I know this is going to sound crazy. To those of you that use hot sauce and see the little guy with the two horns and the pitchfork and, he got that long tail, he's red, like usually skinny or muscular and whatever. No. To the billion Muslims that believe that jinn can come out the television or the radio, and it's a lie. To all you Christians that think that you're going to physically die and go under the 7 layers of the crust of the earth into the melted nickel, the hot lava, the magma under there, and burn in hell forever. No, you're not. It's a lie. It's real, real, real simple. I'm just going to put it out there. You know, this is YouTube. In order for me to get this information to you, I have to sign that I agree to the terms and conditions of YouTube and things of that nature there. But I'm a rebel. I'm going to tell you the truth. The white man is the devil. Plain and simple. What do we mean? We mean that when it comes to that divine evil, that evil vow, that ill, that devil, the only devil we really experienced in Africa was when the colonizers and the imperialists came over and took over our land. The devil to the Native American Indians were when the English, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the Dutch, the French, the Germans, whoever came over here and disrupted the natural order of their civilization. It's the same thing when you study ancient Arabia. The Romans came into Arabia and they took over. The British came into China and they turned it into Kensington and Allegheny. They were selling that stuff, that boy. back way hundreds of years ago, they turned China into Kensington and Allegheny and took over China. Plain and simple. Same thing with India. They y'all got silk, y'all got spices. Like Indian jealousy, greed. I mean, the whole slavery family was about a package, the plug. It was about sugar, molasses that could make rum and slaves. I know your teacher ain't going to put it like that real, simple. I'm going to give y'all that R-A-W, that W-A-R. It was a war from the devils against the gods that allowed them to take over our civilizations. I'm not just talking about the big 7 continents, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and Europe. No, they took over every little tiny crevice, every island, wherever they went. Captain Cook and all, wherever they went all the way to Australia, the Philippines, Cuba, Jamaica, as they call it. I mean, see, most Jamaicans don't know Jamaica's really Jamaica. It's the gods. Most Puerto Ricans don't know they Taino Indians. They the lord and lordesses of the islands. They were gods and goddesses before imperialists came over and took over and brainwashed them. So to this day, our people have absolutely no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of themselves because they want to take and reject the messenger's message in this age of mess. But we want you to understand something. Contrary to popular belief, there are 12 smart guys, 12 smart pitch black scientists, and 12 minor scientists. In your Bible, you may call them the 24 elders. You read the Quran, it'd be like, not Allah or I or the head or the one or our Khalik, the creator. It says, no, let us make these stars. I mean, we adorn the heavens. It's like we put mountains on the earth. See, that science is where it's like confusing because you got, on one side, you got people that teach the reality of the content. Then you got people that teach the tricknology of that content. Now, I mean, they want to attribute it to aliens, spooks, ghosts, spirits, tricknology. No. Everything that happened, that is happening, And that will happen will be because of universal laws, cause and effects, actions and reactions, the fraction building up to the whole. Time is created by motion. How you think, how you move is going to determine whether you realize the reality of God on earth or the devil on earth. So that's the first two prongs. We're going to breeze through the next 8. The other trick is the trick of heaven. They make you think that heaven is this magical, spooky place that you as a black man or black woman or black child have to physically die. And then when you go to your funeral home or you have to be cremated, a white, of course it's white, it's white supremacy, you know what I mean? This white ghost gonna come float out your black body. Woo! Or this white spirit gonna come out your mouth, your last breath. And the white ghost gonna go float off. Where's it going? It's going up to the clouds. That's what the slave masters tell black slaves. They be like, Master, where's heaven? It'd be like, heaven is up there, son, up there on the clouds. Be like, why you call him son? Hey, I mean, if the slave master's name was John, that was John's son. If his name was Ben, that was Ben's son. If his name was Will, that was Will's son. His name was Johnson. You get the picture. But anyway, they taught the slaves that this ghost or spook or spirit came out of their black bodies and it flew off into outer space. And it would go up to these clouds. Now the slaves looking at the land, okay. So when Master Lynch, my grandpa went up to heaven. When he tortured grandma, she went up to heaven. And he started wondering what it's like in heaven. And of course, his limited experience, he was like, oh, well, of course, black folks is going to be slaves in heaven to the big white Jesus on a white throne with the white robes. He got long white hair and a big white beard. He got white angels that got white wings. They deliver babies by white stork birds that carry babies inside a white diaper. It's all white supremacy. All the purity, all the good stuff is white folks. So I, as a black man or black woman, I knows that I has to be some type of second-class citizen, even in hell, even in heaven. Whether I'm with the devil or God, I would never be equal to the superior people. That was the nonsense, the bullcrap, the tricknology, the pseudoscience, the miseducation, the misinformation, the misinterpretation, the mistranslation, the mistransliterations that we got out of the Bible and the Quran and the Torah and the Septuagint and all the scriptures all over the planet Earth. Okay. So we thought that heaven was somehow on top of the cumulus clouds, the cirrus clouds, the nimbus clouds, the stratus clouds, what have you. Then you get this guy coming. Messenger Elijah Muhammad. First, last, and only messenger to the black man, specifically in North America and ultimately around the world. And he tried to wake us up for 44 years. What do? We rejected him. What did the people do when they heard Moses? They rejected him. What did they do when they heard Jesus? They rejected. What they do? Prophet Muhammad. That's what we do. We're mentally dead. Now, I mean, it's like after giving so much of himself, sacrificing so much for our people, showing and proving that he was the messenger of the law, actually resurrecting our people, actually building a nation in a nation. What do we do? Oh, he was an evil man. He was an unjust man. He did this. He did that. Stabbed the man on his back, put salt on his wounds, and ate his back out. That's what mentally deads do. You just gotta love your player haters. It's part and parcel of the struggle for teaching black folks the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It's going to take them a while to wake up. But we're willing to suffer all the slings and arrows and crucifixions to help wake our people up. Those of us that truly believe in creative content. See, you're a content creator. You have no problem with that. Why? The white man told you was a content creator on YouTube. But when Elijah Muhammad told you was a creator, you're like, what? That's law. That's blasphemy. I rebuke you, Satan. What you mean I'm a creator? I'm not a creator. I'm the created. I'm a child of Adam and Eve and all this other nonsense. I mean, but as soon as the devil comes in and be like, you're a content creator, man, you can conceive a thought and make it manifest right here on YouTube. And when you make it manifest on YouTube, we'll take and have it structured where you got to get, a certain amount of subscribers and watch hours, what have you. And, so what is you saying, Master? I'm basically saying that you got to be a slave to play this game. If you're on YouTube, every video you put up, I'm going to sell all these commercials on your joint. You ain't getting nothing out of it. You're my slave right now. But if you be a good slave, I'll break you off a little something. I mean, let me look at this here. Okay, I tell you what I do. You get 1,000 subscribers. You get 1,000 views. I figure out of $1, since you're a good guy, a good girl, I give you 2 cents for your efforts. I'm getting 98%. You're going to get 2 cents. That's how the game go. Now, most people will be like, oh, I'm not getting on YouTube. I'm not. But the angel's like, nah. All we trying to do is get in the system. Put us in the matrix. See, throw us in the furnace of hellfire. See, we're fireproof. See, when we come out, we be like, we won't smell like smoke. We won't be burnt up. None of that. Because we know it's tricknology. You see? All we want to do is like, yo, let us in hell, Satan. Why? Because when we get in hell, we're going to wake our people up and take them back to heaven. You see? So that concept, the third pillar of heaven, is misinterpreted amongst the masses. The fourth pillar, hell. A lot of people really, really, really believe that if they was bad, they're going to go to hell after they physically die. I got some good news for y'all. You're not going to hell. Good people never go to hell. Bad people never go to hell. Nobody ever goes to hell. There's no such thing as hell. I know, this sounds crazy. You was taught this crap your whole life. I remember when I was a child, in order for us to get our free lunches in North Philly, we had to go. I was living out 16th and Westmoreland at the time with my mom and sisters in the apartment building. And they used to have free lunches they used to give out in the summertime at the church across the street, Jesus Saves Church. So me and my friends, we get, we go over there and get some free lunch. We go over there to get the free lunch. So when we come into church, the first thing they do, because they want to brainwash you. So the first thing they do is tell, before y'all can get the free lunch, you got to first go to a Bible study. So you're like, that's that's a little much. I mean, that wasn't in the contract. Like the federal government giving y'all free lunches to give to us, they do not require that we get brainwashed or any of that. I mean, but y'all are, illegally withholding our nutrition and extorting us, saying if you don't believe in this mystery God, you ain't gonna get this physical grub. So we got to get y'all to answer our prayers. So we like, all right, we gonna come in here and act like we believe this spooky stuff. So me and my homies, we go in there, homegirls, whatever. Shout out to Stephanie Collier, that was my girlfriend back when I was a kid. We used to go in there. She didn't believe it. I definitely didn't believe it, but we used to like go in here and just have bit off this stuff. So they used to sit us down, show us all this. And I'll never forget one of the traumatizing things they did. They did one day a full-blown stage play where they had like the 7-foot huge death angel, demons, angels, a big giant book with lights in it. And they was like, had each of us go up on stage. They was like, what's your name? You know what I mean? And if your name wasn't in the book of life, they pull you backstage with the demons and the devils and traumatized us. We was probably like, I probably was like, definitely like around under 10. You know what I mean? All me and my friends, they take us back there. You know what I mean? All of us went to hell because none of our names is in the joint. So we scared to death. So they like, listen, the only redemption is if you get your name in the book of life and accept Jesus Christ your person. I'm like, Lord, save me, help me, Jesus. And they showed us like little pictures and gave us a little brochure. 100% of the pictures was white guys. I kid you not. Jesus was white. Abraham was a white guy. They showed God's hand. God definitely was a white guy because his hand was white. Mary was white. Of course, all the angels were white. All that wings were white. The devil was either red, brown, or black. That's one. All the evil people were dark skinned. I noticed like all the evil kings, the Pharaoh was black. Belshazzar was black. You know what I mean? Anybody wicked was dark skinned. I mean, anybody holy like Peter and Solomon was white. They had they even had like Aaron was a white guy. Now I mean everybody was white except for the oppressors. I mean, so this is how they brainwash. But I'm a rebel even as a kid. I'm like, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? But they giving us all this tricknology. I mean, but they telling us about this magical heaven. Now I mean, in North Philly, where I'm living in an apartment. We're living on the second. It's 3 stories. The first floor is the landlord, Mr. Henry. We on the second floor. Third floor is Stephanie and her brother Boo and her mom is Pat and all of them. They live on the third floor. Nice clean apartment, small, but it was clean, serves its purposes, And next it's like our apartment. The next door to us is an apartment, and next door to that is this giant, huge, take up like 4 blocks of a boys' home. So I see all these sad black guys in the boys' home. This 16th and Westmoreland. 16th and Westmoreland in North Philly on Allegheny Avenue. It's a huge boys' home. Like literally, like, it's a huge slave ship filled up with black kids. Only boys. But it's like, when I go in there, I live in an apartment clean with my mom and my 3 sisters. So it's like, okay. I come in here, all these dudes, they like, oh, we in here because we bad. My mom was on drugs. My dad was a drunk. You know what I mean? I was abandoned, whatever. They wind up inside this big building. So I'm just visiting. Now I mean, like they had a giant basketball court. So they showing me around. I'm like, wow, y'all got a basketball court. Oh, Like, what's the, they give y'all sneaks? Brand new? Yeah, we get brand new Adidas. Oh, okay. What's the, y'all get sweatsuits too? What's the, this right here is the cap. This is where we eat at. I mean, they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is free? Yeah, it's free. What's this? Oh, this is my room. I mean, like, y'all got bunk beds. This right here is my locker. Boo, bag. This my joint, Boo, something. I'm like, damn, this boys' home is it's better than the ghetto. It's better than, like, they ain't got no roaches, no mice, no poverty, no hunger. They don't worry about bills, none of that. You know what I mean? And I'm like looking at it like, wow. And I remember telling him, and I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was like, damn, man, you be complaining and grieving about this joint. Man, you wind up in heaven for real. That thought that the conditions he was in could literally be better than the normal conditions of growing up in the ghetto or in the hood, I mean, taught me a subconscious lesson. You know what I mean? So I never was the type to believe in a mystery heaven or a mystery. I knew heaven and hell were conditions of this world's life. So the first pillar, you got God, the devil, heaven, and hell. The fifth pillar that they lied to us about was angels. Now, I can't even recall my first time coming into the knowledge of angels. I can remember the first time I came into the experience of an angel, because it was one of the few rare times I had a lovely moment with my pops, my dad, whom I love, always love. You know what I mean? Regardless, even though him and my mom separated, whatever, we wasn't, the Partridge family. It was like, it is what it is. I always loved my dad. My dad always showed love. You know what I mean? So it's good. But I remember at this time, we're living in we moved out. This is before 16th from Westmoreland. We moved from down Hazard Street from North Philly from the 1500 block. We moved down 22nd in Indiana, down North Philly. Now, you got to understand at this time, I'm probably like 6, 7 years old. This house, this block, this neighborhood, this community, to me, was absolutely heaven. like in my little brain, all I remember is good memories. Good mama, good dad, good sisters, my Aunt Brenda, my Uncle Bunny, my cousins. It's like we in the hood, but it's like I never seen violence. I'm pretty sure it was drug use. I never seen no drug use. I seen my dad, he might drink, get a little drunk, want to break bricks with his fists with his friends. They might want to sing some corny oldies over the fire, whatever, the trash can had, so it was things in the hood. Like, I knew it was nothing spooky, but it was good for me. I was satisfied. You know what I mean? I was at peace. I felt secure and loved and nurtured. I mean, I'm good. I mean, and then I never forget, for some reason, out of all the Christmas, this one Christmas I just really subconsciously remember. My dad was like, Ash. It's like, yeah. He's like, come here. I was born with the name Asha, Isha, the night prayer, the end of prayers. That's why I don't, do all the spooky prayer stuff. That's crap over as far as I'm concerned, But when I came down, he had the Christmas tree up. We got the fruit on the table, the big navel oranges, grafted oranges. They delicious in the mug. Well, I got the pecans, the walnuts, mixed nuts all in the joint, the nutcracker on the joint, peppermints. Hey, they got the stockings for me, my sisters up on the little mantel place, and this is like Nat King Cole playing in the background. It's like an idyllic Christmas. Like, I like Christmas. I mean, it's like this time of gifts and love and cooking food and family and unity. It's all good. And he told me, said, I want you to do something this shit. I was like, what? He said, I want you to put the angel on top of the tree. I'm completely confused. I'm like, Scooby-Doo, what you talking about that? He's like, no, it's a Christmas angel. I want you to put it on top of the tree. So I'm like, how? He's like, look and see under the tree, under the angel, it's like a little circle. See this hole under the circle? I want you to take this and sit it on the very top of the tree. I'm going to lift you up. So I'm like, all right. I mean, so it's like, okay, he make me part of the festival. I'm in. You know what I mean? So he gives me the angel. I takes the angel and I put it all the way on the top of the tree. He's like, make sure it's tight so it won't fall. So I make sure I did the job right. I wanted to, please my dad, press him. You know what I mean? He put me down. He's like, oh, good job, son. You know what I mean? I'm standing, and he's like, how I look? And I'm looking at the tree. It's like the lights is blinking. We had the lights, like some lights stay on permanently. Then we had other Christmas lights, like they flash on and all. Then we had the bells, and we had these little candy cans and stuff like that. The tree it had the gold shimmering, the silver. He mixed, my mom and dad used to go out. This is back in I was born in 65, so this is like the early 70s, somewhere around there, you know what I mean? So it's like heaven to me, you know what I mean? And I looked up at this tree and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. Then a question came to me. And I was like, Daddy, he's like, what? Why is the angel white? That part made no sense whatsoever to my little mind. Like when I came out the house, I seen black folks. When I went to the corner store, I seen black folks. My next door neighbors was black. My aunts, my uncles, my grandma, my grandpa. All the people I knew around North Philadelphia was primarily black people. But I'm like, in our house, we never had a picture of President Kennedy. My mom wasn't a religious type one. I never in my life seen my mom go to church unless it was like a funeral or a wedding or something like that. So we didn't have white Jesuses. So I didn't never get indoctrinated with that kind of stuff. Know what I mean? When I asked my mom as a child for a school project, I was like, Mom, what's our religion? She's like, what you mean? Why you asking? I was like, well, a teacher told us what's our religion. I'm just curious, like, who's God? And she told me straight up, your Uncle Bunny, he the only one that ever did something for you. That's how I came up. I just simply never believed in a mystery God. So it's easy for me to run into somebody like Messenger Elijah Muhammad. It's like I was born for this thing. This here, yeah, the black man, I can ride with that. It makes atomic sense to me. It makes genetic sense. And my actual DNA is programmed for like, yo, ain't nothing spooky with me. I'm so anti-spooky, I literally will spook up people that think they 5%. It's like the Holy Quran, dude, Quran. You can't soldier with me. You be like, this dude is on some next level stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why let me respect everybody, keep my distance. I'm not going to go and play. I'm not going to your temple, your mosque, your masjid. I'm not getting registered. Nah, none of that. Know what I mean? It's like, nah, it's like, go ahead, But if I wanted to build in the masjid with they'd be like, this dude know the sunnah. He know tafsir. He know the kitab. He know the hadith. He know it's like, oh, he know the teaching. Oh, he knows this Bible. Oh, he knows this Jewish Septuagint. He is like, I could go there. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna be patient. I mean, I'm gonna respect people's space. You see what I'm saying? But that white angel in my house, up on that tree, had me curious. I really couldn't that. It wasn't mathematics, so my little brain couldn't really process that. Why? I really couldn't understand why the angel wasn't black. That's the part I couldn't understand. You know what I mean? Like, why you don't have a black angel up there? You know what I mean? So my dad told me some stuff. My dad didn't have knowledge of self, but he was like, a practical man from the hood, hardworking father trying to do the best he can under circumstances. It's no perfect man, but I love my dad, respect my dad, appreciate my dad, but he like trying to like, justify putting this white angel up on this tree in front of his kids, and parents got smarter as time went on. So some companies started making black angels. Now, I seen my sisters that used to play with the Easy Bake Oven, and 100% of the time they had the white Barbie, the white Ken, the white doll. Then next thing you know, my mom started getting them black dolls. Then my mom started getting like she got the black Bible, like the Bible literally had pictures of black. I'm like, okay, they got an African American Bible. Then my mom had the black encyclopedias, and so she started teaching us like, in her own way. She's giving us black culture, black history, black knowledge of self. Like when the movie Roots came out, before that movie came, my mom already had the thick Roots book. She's like, you got to read this. I'm an avid reader as a youngster. And then when I seen the movie, I'm like, oh, Alex Haley made it crisp. Our problem is not a magical devil or a spooky God. Our problem is these greedy behind white folks taking our stuff. And it's like, they like, shh, everybody know that. But Osh, nobody really talks about that. Don't talk, you can't say that. I'm like, they killing me within because I gotta like act like I don't know what's happening around here. Like, yo, it's like for real. Like this where we at? So we gotta pretend that this little red guy on the hot sauce bottle is the devil. It's like it's not this insurance dude coming over here. It's not the bill collectors. It's not these dudes on this paper money, these former slave masters and all this fiat money we're using. It's not the people controlling the mass media, and it's not all these white male presidents that's ruling the world and got all the nuclear bombs and they printing the money at the Federal Reserves. And I gotta act like these corporations aren't gangsters. It's like, yo, my brain is like, no, I know, game recognize game, real recognize real. I like they fucking gangsters. And this is where we at. So that is the first one. Is they lied to us about God. They lied to us about the devils. They lied to us about heaven. Of course, they lied to us about hell. They lied to us about the angels. They lied to us about demons. It's like growing up, you got to keep in mind, I was born in 1965. We used to live on the 1500 block of Hazard Street. Those of you that know North Philly know, like, we was in walking distance of Muhammad's Mosque, number 12. Like Minister Jeremiah Shabazz was like a close family friend. Like my aunt, Ola Hassan, my cousin Wadia, they was in the Nation of Islam. So I'm a child. They older than me. So I'm looking at them like I see them dressed up as angels. Like they not dressing up as angels. They dressing up just in that Muslim guards, that hijab, what have you. They got their head covers, that guard. They modest. The home is clean. My aunt was a brilliant businesswoman. And they doing that thing. And these is like strong black women, mainly. Like my family, we got a lot of matriarchal. My mom was a strong black woman, raising 4 children. My aunts, what have you. Now, my aunt Arlene, what have you, different people had to do that thing. I absolutely revere my aunt Brenda. Like when my mom and dad separated, my mom ain't had no place to go with 4 children. My aunt Brenda accepted us in the house with my cousin Anthony and Trisha and Jerome, and Yvonne. It's like we're literally placing a 50% burden on their economics, on their social system, on their spiritual system, and it's like, I can only imagine the burden that was, you know what I mean? But she like opened us with open arms, you know what I mean? So it's like, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, who knows where we would have ended up, you know what I mean, if it wasn't for her service and her sacrifice and her love. Like it's like you got black women that give love when they don't even get love back. See what I'm saying? That's pure love. You know what I mean? It's not an elevation of understanding. Like, they don't fall in love. They actually elevate and rise up the love beyond the circumstances. They like, well, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm not thinking about my health, my wealth. I'm thinking about helping these loved ones whom I love. It's like, it's no way you could ever repay somebody like that. Now, I wish I could like just hit the lottery and just give them $1 billion or something like that. But I'm a poor righteous teacher. Know what I mean? But I could give them rich love. Know what I mean? It's real. Know what I mean? It's it's not material. I mean, it's spiritual, it's theological, it's philosophical, it's wisdom, it's hakimi. Okay? So, you have these real demons that's on earth. Now, these real demons can be black or white. I mean, personally, I met a lot of black demons out there on the streets. You know what I mean? But, you got these demons that they try to get us to think that they come from under the ground and they work for Lucifer. It's like, no, the demons could just be your player haters. They like the messenger program. You got a lot of people that look at the messenger's shoes and be like, I could be the messenger. Let me put them shoes on. See what I'm saying? It's like a child putting on their father's shoes and skipping around the house with daddy's hat on, like, I'm the father, I'm the man of the house. It's cute. You know what I mean? As long as they don't really take itself too serious. You know what I mean? But you got guys and girls that literally take themselves real serious, like they really believe the self-delusion that they're trying to spit out to us. I mean, when you have knowledge of the messenger's message in this age of mess, you know the messenger's message when you hear the messenger's message in this age of mess. And you know the tricknology and the nonsense of the demons when you hear it. I mean, so Master Muhammad didn't just come to oppose the devils. He opposed Satan or the literal government, COINTELPRO, the 10% rich slave makers of the poor, and he also opposed their imps or impersonators. Let's look at the seventh pillar of this tricknology. The seventh pillar is scriptures. You have content on scriptures that I love. See, a lot of people, like, you go on my Facebook page, a lot of people like, Brother Minister Alif of the Nation of Islam, I'll put content on scriptures from the Holy Quran, the Holy Bible, the Torah, whatever. I mean, it's like, the reason I do that is really because a lot of people is not familiar with the narratives and analogies and similes and stories and parables of the scriptures. So it's easier where I'd be like, well, I could remake this and do this like it's from me, but this particular preacher or imam or reverend or guru or sheikh or content creator literally, in my opinion, doing it way better than me. Some of them have crack cartoons, whatever. I put the cartoons up there. I love them little cartoons, like the cartoons of Elijah, Moses, whatever. I mean, so I'll just share their content, get them a plug. Like, yo, I mean, help me help our people. It's not about me. It's about we and us. It's not I and me. It's we and us. So when it comes to the scriptures, but personally, there is a core foundation that I personally stand upon. And that is Lost Sound Muslim Lesson Number 2 by Master Muhammad, Niam Elijah Muhammad. As I always tell y'all, only the messenger's message can guide us through this age of mess. So when you hear me talk about scriptures, share scriptures, show posts of scriptures, it's because I already believe that the Holy Quran or Bible is made by the original people who is Allah. I mean, I'm coming from the premise of the lessons. I mean, so it's like I have no problem about Jesus on the cross with two thieves, but what I'm busy, but what I plan on doing is giving y'all like I ain't gonna say the whole Bible and the whole Quran. That's too tedious. But I'm gonna get y'all on that path so that y'all have the example and foundation of having the ghetto translation. Like imagine Jesus is on death row. I mean, and he's on the block. He got a celly on the right and a celly on the left. This is the reality of what's really happening. Like when Jesus is at court and they ask him, "Art thou the king?" And you know, I mean, the Bible like, and he answered, not so much a single word. Jesus like, ain't no rap. I mean, I mean, you know, it's I'm gonna give y'all the ghetto version because when you look at the ghetto version, it makes sense. You be like, oh, okay, it's nothing spooky with none of it. It's beautiful because it's our ancestors simply passing down stories. Like they sit under the African tree and they light a campfire and they tell stories and things like that. That's how the Native American Indians do, the Mexicans, the Arabs, the Indians, the Chinese, that's what we Australians, that's what we do. We share those stories, but we also share the narratives and we also share our philosophies and spiritualities. And this is all part and parcel of our culture. I mean, it's not that it's supposed to be factual or scientific. It's a blend of everything. It's like goulash. I mean, it just tastes good when we finish with it. Know what I mean? So, you know, when it comes to the scriptures, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he looked at the testament of prophets, his thing was you have the tester and you have his testament. The tester is the actual person, the prototype. You know what I mean? Like who you know, God takes this cookie cutter. I ain't talking about a mystery God. I'm talking about how nature, the original man, takes and understanding human nature, be like, okay, we know what will happen if we give this young boy $100 million. He just simply gonna make all these mistakes. It's $100 million. It's just human nature. We know what'll happen if we starve this little young kid. He going to start hustling. He going to start trying. He going to go in survival mode. I mean, the Bible says, "Do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry." You know what I mean? So it's like cause and effect. The mathematics of it, we may not understand because it's advanced mathematics. It's advanced Islam. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I know supreme alphabets. I know the supreme mathematics." Like, listen, yo, do the research. Listen to the number I'm giving y'all. I'm not saying hundreds. I know, factually, I know what I'm talking about. Thousands of years before father-in-law, Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or Master Muhammad was physically on this planet. Thousands of years before that, black people had supreme alphabets and mathematics. Crystal clear. Study ancient Kemet. Study that supreme, like seven is God. I mean, like study. You know, it's like people think that there's something new under Al Shams or the sun. You know what I mean? But the Bible teaches there's nothing new under the sun. That's for Muhammad thing is like, yo, my dad didn't bring me some specialized, spooky, organized. He just simply went around the world and used his money. Because money talks. Wolf crap walks. His dad had that moolah. His dad had the bag. His dad took his money and went around the world and paid great sums of money to wise men and women to get information, to take this data, to get these ancient teachings, and he would come back and teach it to his son, which he saw was relevant. You see, everything wasn't relevant. Everything in ancient Egypt ain't scientific. A lot of it is spookism. A lot of it was imposed. A lot of it was mistranslated, misinterpreted. A lot of it came after the colonizers took over and spooked the crap up. That's all over the place. That's every culture. You know what I mean? But the basic fundamental principles, the ancient Egyptians was like, listen, we believe that black man is God. We believe the white man is the devil. We believe in the black woman is the goddess. We believe in heaven and hell right here on the face of the planet Earth. You know, it's just as time went on, things get spooky. You know what I mean? You know, you look at the Nation of Islam in the 1930s and 40s and 50s, and then see like the stuff that creeped in there, you'd be like, oh, well, you really can't compare this day and time to the original teachers of Master Farmer Muhammad and Alhamdulillah. This what they originally was. This was the foundation of Master Farmer Muhammad and Mess. This is what they was building on. You know what I mean? So we have that concept of the scriptures, if you will. You know what I mean? The message teaches us that there is no distinction between the Bible and the Quran. He teaches us the Holy Quran or Bible. It's the same thing. It's just that the Quran came to shed light on all of the falsehood that they added into the Bible. And the Quran illuminated, it was a nur or light for God's word or the kitab. But 3 generations after Prophet Muhammad, they spooked up the Quran. I mean, it's like, you know, all these vows you see in your Quran, you get your noble Quran, you open it up, not the one chapter, any chapter in the Quran, any ayat, any verse in the Quran, any of them, you're going to see bitter, innovation. You'll be like, what's this? Oh, that's a kasher. What's that? A duma, a shada. When did that happen? Oh, that happened about 300-400 years. We just made that stuff up. You know, we broke this thing up into these verses. Like, he'd be like, oh, let me get this straight. When the Katim Nabi, the seal of the prophets, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the thoughts of peace be unto the last prophet of Allah. The Holy Quran teaches us every nation gets a prophet, okay? But he's the last prophet, and he's over 1,400 years ago. So you're in the wilderness of North America. Why is Elijah Muhammad coming in as a prophet? Elijah Muhammad's not coming in as a prophet. Down Elijah Muhammad is coming in according to the Quran. The Quran says every nation gets a rasuli. A rasul. What is a rasul? A rasul is a messenger. Well, what's the difference between a rasul, a messenger, and a nabi, a prophet? A nabi or prophet predicts or prophesies about the future coming of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A messenger delivers a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many creators do a prophet believes in? A prophet believes in La ilaha illallah, one creator of all of creation. How many creators do a messenger believe in? Every messenger of Allah, including the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, inside this book, he says in this book that he believes, I'm going to quote him, the 1965, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says in Message to the Black Man, he didn't use English, he used Arabic. He said that he believes, La ilaha illallah, that there is no God but God. All the messengers of God believed in one creator of all creation. Don't get spooky. Don't think that we're saying Master Fard Muhammad, who was physically born in 1897, was physically here when the sun was made 78 trillion years ago, or the stars were sparked 72 trillion years ago, or the earth was made 76 trillion years ago, or the moon was made 66 trillion years ago, or the devil was made 6,600 plus years ago. That's not what we say. That's not what the messenger said. That's not our belief. That never was our belief. But at the same time, we're saying that the mind of Master Fard Muhammad, The mind of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the mind of all black men everywhere on the face of this planet Earth is absolutely infinite. You can open up our head. You can see our physical brain. You can physically kill us, destroy us easy. But that mind, that energy, that alcoholic, that creative force, you could never destroy. Because it was never born. It wasn't born in 18. The mind of mass form, I wasn't born in 1897. Duh, that's spooky. See? It's like the energy was not created when the light bulb was made. No, way before Einstein or who have you figured out the ligaments for a light bulb, whatever. It's like energy was just here. Energy has no beginning or ending, family. Know what I mean? So that's one of the great pillars that they use as pillar number 7. Scriptures. They spook you up with that Bible. They absolutely spook you up with your Quran. They spook you up with your Torah. And you got these 3 major religions, including Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, what have you. Atheism, they all spooky. The atheists be like, I don't believe in no God, this, that, and the other. Cool. I agree with you. You shouldn't believe in spookism. You shouldn't believe in luck and that which is illogical. You shouldn't believe in that which is not natural and scientific. I mean, but at the same time, you should realize that you are God. I mean, like when you look at creation, there's nothing in creation. There's nothing. You can believe whatever. People believe in aliens on other planets, whatever. That's fine. Belief and knowledge are different. You can believe anything. But what do we know? We know that me nor you has ever seen a miracle on this planet. We can't show and prove a miracle on Earth. You can't, you could believe that there's some superior aliens living in a distant galaxy, what have you. Fine. You believe it. People believe in Santa Claus, Easter bunnies, tooth fairy, whatever. But don't take and come to me talking about I got proof that there's a tooth fairy because when my tooth fell out, I found 50 cents underneath my pillow. I mean, it's like, no. I mean, I'm not going to believe that. You could believe that. You could believe that your physically dead family member came back to you as a ghost and talked to you. But in reality, it was all a psychological thing. You really just believe that you've seen them because they're just a thought away. You know what I mean? But that's how that really goes as far as scriptures are concerned. When they read the Bible and the Quran and the Torah and the Septuagint and the Vulgate and the Sanskrit and the Apocrypha and the Dead Sea Scrolls and the things that they just come up with their preconceived interpretations of God. Know what I mean? And that's how they come up with all this spooky stuff. All right, let's look at that 8th pillar of tricknology. All right, you got content, and then you got 10 cons. This is the 8th con. The 8th con is the resurrection of the dead. The resurrection. The messenger keeps it real simple. Resurrection, or to resurrect, only means to rise up. He teaches us in the Muslims program on what the Muslims want to believe. We don't believe in a physical resurrection like there's a white ghost coming out your dead body. No. We believe in a mental resurrection. In ancient Kemetic systems, Black Egyptian system, that thing is like, you don't want to be forgotten. I mean, you weigh the heart symbolically on the scale of balances of justice, what have you. And if your good outweighs your bad, you go to heaven. Meaning people are like, okay, yeah, he's good dude, you know what I mean? Wasn't perfect, but we love and respect Malcolm. We love and respect Dr. Martin King, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Messiah Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Sojourner Truth, Nat Turner, Denmark V's. It's like, okay, yeah, and they all helped us get closer and closer towards our human potential. You see? They put us on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path of peace, truth, health, prosperity, freedom, justice, and equality, unity. Now, I mean, they help us realize human potential. That's the resurrection. Now, I mean, it's not talking about somebody physically dying and some magical ghost coming up out of that body and all that kind of stuff. No, 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 no. The ninth pillar is unity, ahead, oneness. The Yakub, the message teaches us in Message of the Black Man in America in 1965 that Dr. Yakub Malik Shabazz taught his people how to divide and conquer the original people. He gives us an analogy that they use. They basically would come to our homes and rent rooms in our homes, and they would start gossiping and basically come back and be like, yo, I heard the neighbor talking about you. No, she told me this. Oh, I didn't know you. I was talking to your homie, Sessa. He told me back in the day, Sessa. Yeah, I didn't know your other daughter was from Sessa. You had the fear with, and they just had us arguing and fighting and killing amongst ourselves. And Yakub taught them, once you get them fighting, arguing, killing each other, then you come in as the peacemaker. Hold up. Now, keep in mind, they the causation. They started it, but they acting like they trying to stop it. It's like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Now, I mean, it's like these people living on that land in 1948. That's the colonizers, the imperialists come in, take over that stuff, bulldoze that stuff out the way, and try and figure out why they having a problem. Duh. Imagine China coming to New York and say, we're the ancient descendants of Chen, so God is the one in charge, and he made us his blessed people. So New York belongs to us. United States government be like, I don't think so, homie. You're gonna have a problem over here. You know what I mean? It's like that everywhere. So you see these conflicts that's really unnecessary. You know what I mean? If wisdom don't prevail, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad puts it. You know what I mean? But they come in and they divide and conquer the original people. Now, I mean, so once the people get divided, like say the slaves get divided, so now you got the dark skin against the light skin, you got the house slave against the field slave, you got the slaves against the free slaves, you got the broke slaves against the slaves that got to cover the islands. It's just like these slaves got good hair, these slaves got natural kinky hair, and that dichotomy is to the devil's advantage. He uses that literal concept of division because the people don't understand we live in a, quote, universe. It's a unified force, family. We got 7 mind dimensions: the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the soul, the self, and the will. And we have 9 forces which balances our equilibrium, or the cipher, according to Master Fard Muhammad in the 99 actual facts and the actual factors. Those 9 forces are attraction, repulsion, cohesion, assimilation, dissimulation, creation, projection, reception, and intuition. These 9 universal forces forms the unified force. Every thought is unified. Every atom of our universe operates as one. That don't mean that hydrogen got a bond with carbon to do something. I mean, carbon is its own force. Hydrogen is its own force. Iron is its own force. It's like, so people are like, oh, if you're not with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, you're not with me. You're divided from us. If you don't follow the Honorable Silas Muhammad, if you're not a 5%er, brother, if you're not Pan-African, if you're not a Christian and accepted Jesus, if you didn't take and point your finger and take your Shahada, if you don't follow the Sunnah, if you don't follow the Shia, if you don't follow Hanafi, if you're not a Jew, if you're not an Orthodox Jew, if you're not a Catholic, if you haven't been immersed in water like a Baptist, if you're not a Jehovah's Witness, if you're not an atheist, if you're not a hustler getting money, if you're not a politician, and this tricknology is how the 10% rules the whole planet Earth. They love it. Like, look at 8 billion people completely mentally dead to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of their own power. They literally took the world superpower, the United States of America, and transformed it from a republic to a democracy, a demonocracy, devil rulership. I mean, like, it's supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Nah, it's a government by whoever got the money. I mean, whoever got the bag. I mean, they make the rules. They control the rules. They run this. They run the world. Just the reality of it. So this right here, this concept of unity, the message teaches us that he wanted us to form Black unity. He explained to us that, and I'll say it's right in his last book, 1974, the very last book he ever wrote. He explained to us that our unity is more powerful than nuclear atomic bombs. His thing was like, it's like the mortar or the cement that unites brick to brick. See, when that mortar or that unity get in there, when the winds come, the adversity comes, we can weather the storm if we united. But we're not united, unfortunately. Know what I mean? And the 10th pillar that they use to trick us on is death. Now, I don't want to get too deep in this, but I'm going to give y'all the short version, the simple version. One of the tricks of the devil is he makes you think that you died because he tricked you into believing that you was born. You ain't get that, did you? The way they do it is this. They calculate time as being linear. See, Eurocentric thinking works like this. I'm talking Europeans. I'm not talking white people. You got white people that think more black than black folks. You got some black folks that think more white than white folks. God, me, I'm not a respecter of persons. Know what I mean? I respect people, the way, and I treat them the way I want to be respected and treated. Know what I mean? But you have people historically that had the power, they had the wisdom, the force. They literally was the God of this world. I'm talking European powers. And they set up this concept of linear thinking. That's like the past, the present, and the future. But when they came among indigenous people or the original people, they realized that the original people was like, the past is the present is the future. Like they look at it like, well, I'm in the present and I clearly remember this morning I took a shower, which was in the past. So my past is linked to my present, and I plan on taking the trash out before I go to sleep tonight in the future. So that's how we thought. I mean, our time was created by motion, as the message taught us. So that concept of death was based on linear thinking, European philosophy, misinterpretation of ancient Kemetic and Nubian and Kushite, or ancient Black Egyptian and Black Sudanese and Black Ethiopian cosmology and theology. So when they came in Black Arabia and they went to Black Babylon or Iraq and Black Persia or Black Iran, and they start learning Black China and Black India and the Black Dalits, and start studying out ancient books and technologies and philosophies, they mixed it with their Eurocentric stuff. Know what I mean? And they came up with Greece. They came up with the Greek culture, the Hellenistic stuff, and that produced the Roman stuff, and the Romans produced the American stuff. So that it all comes from black, brown, yellow, and red people at the end of the day. Now, I mean, to keep it simple. But in our concept, it's like when you chop down the tree, it dies, but it's not dead. I mean, like energy can't be created nor destroyed. It just simply transforms. I mean, it's like yeah, I may be here in a physical form, but my bones are really Calcium, they rocks. They like the stone of the earth. The same minerals that's in the earth, it's in my bones. My flesh is actually like broccoli and carrots and red onions and garlic. I mean, it's the vegetables, is blueberries and fresh fruit. I mean, my actual blood is really like salt water, like the brine is literally like the ocean. I mean, it's like we come out of the earth and we go back in the earth. But that's our physical form. Our highest self, remember, we had 7 mind dimensions: the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual, soul, the self. We just dealing with the physical plane. We got an emotional, we got a mental, we got a spiritual, a soul, a self, and the God part is we got a will form. But on the plane of God, when you look within yourself, people talk about chakras, but that pineal gland, when your thoughts travel 24 billion miles per second, you're born with a 7.5-ounce brain, 14 billion brain cells. Each brain cell, called the neuron, generates a power equal to 1/70,000th of a volt of electricity. Your thoughts through the electromagnetic field travels 24 billion miles per second. Contrary to the law of attraction, thoughts do not become things. Your thoughts are things. You already are God. Already. You just don't, you just are not kind. You just have spiritual amnesia right now. You see? So God can't die. I mean, it's like, no, all living matter, organic matter, transform right back to carbon atoms. You transform right back to the water atom called hydrogen, water gene, the water origin. You go right back to the blackness of space, family. I mean, that mind did not start there. It doesn't end there. It's a circular. It's not linear like the Europeans told you. It's not a past, present. It's 360 degrees. Your head is round. Your eyes are round. The nares of your nose is round. Your earlobe, your mouth is round. Your blood cells are round. Your essence, the planet is round. The sun is round. The moon is round. The stars are round. The atoms are round. Everything operates in 360 degrees. You want to build in the cipher family? Build with the true and living gods, not a spook.